Hi, in this video I'm going to show you how I prime my boards. First I'm going to show you how I mix this gold color. I use the Golden brand fine pumice gel, and there's also a smaller size available, but the big one is what I use because that's what I've got in my studio. There's also a Golden brand Pastel ground, it's called. It's very similar. I haven't bought any of that because I've had all of this. Anyway, I'm going to add a little bit to a jar. And I'm going to add color to it. The color I use is also the Golden brand. And the color is quinacridone nickel azo gold. And it's the fluid acrylics. Golden brand fluid acrylics. This is a very intense color. It's a beautiful, beautiful gold color. I learned this from another artist that I took a workshop from. I add approximately 25% color to 75% gel, so about a 3/4 ratio there. You mix it up. Mix and mix and mix. You want it to get it pretty smooth. First I'm going to prime a piece of Gatorboard. This is Gatorboard. It looks like foam board, but it's completely rigid. I really like it for that rigidness. You can prime it and it won't warp or bend. What I use when I spread the primer around is just simply some foam. This is a piece of chair foam cushion, and I cut off pieces and I use that. You can use brushes, you can use other sorts of sponges, whatever you like, but this is my favorite method. I shake the jar because I like to get some color on the lid and use it off the lid. When I start priming, I just slap a bunch down onto the board and work in a circular motion, spread it around. I want to get it fairly smooth and consistent, and as I go around the edges, I keep the edges really loose because wherever I overlap with the next pass, I don't want there to be any real firm lines going on. I want it to be a nice merging tone. So I just spread it, and as I smooth it out, my strokes get a little bit lighter. I want to keep it from getting too bumpy. I want to get it out all nice and consistent. I like a circular motion just because that's what I've gotten used to, and I enjoy it. There are all kinds of different ways you can spread this around. You could experiment for yourself and see what you like. Speed this up a bit. So I'm going to set this aside to dry, and I'm going to show you what I just discovered recently is this watercolor paper called Yupo, and it's not actually paper, it's plastic. And it comes in sheets. This is a 9x12 pad. And the nice thing about it is it's so much thinner than Gatorboard. 10 sheets are the same thickness as one sheet of Gatorboard. I'm definitely going to be taking this on my workshops when I have to fly, because it'll take up a lot less space. I'm going to prime one sheet here for you. And by the way, this is made by Legion. It's Yupo by Legion, and Dick Blick has it. This is the Yupo Heavyweight. And the neat thing about it is that because it's plastic, it doesn't absorb any liquids. The liquids will sit on top, and the sheet will not bend or warp. So you don't have to tape it down. So I'm going to prime this just the way I did the Gatorboard. And the one thing I noticed about this when I was doing this is that because it's so slick and it doesn't absorb, I actually have to use a slightly lighter touch. I found if I pressed heavier, I almost would wipe off the primer before it even had a chance to start sticking. So using just a slightly more delicate touch, I've primed the whole thing. And it's going to dry a bit slower. So you notice I'm holding it by the very edges because I noticed I would leave fingerprints if I didn't. So there's that. I'm going to set this aside and pull out the board I just primed a few minutes ago, and some of it might be dry enough now to cut. I'll show you how I cut this. This left side is pretty dry. The right side is still just a little bit tacky, but the left side we can cut here, and I'll show you how easy it is to cut Gatorboard. Let's see what I can get. 16 inches, so that'll get me two 8x10s for this end. You want to use a really nice heavy-duty utility knife with a nice handle on it that you can grip. And you don't want to try to cut all the way through in one cut. You won't. What you want to do is score it once, and then score it again, and then a third pass that's heavier. Then it just snaps. Voila! So this will give me two 8x10s. I'm going to measure that. And once again, score it. Second pass, and a third pass heavier. And snap. Voila! So here's that Yupo. It's still not quite dry. It's pretty tacky. How nice and lightweight that is. So the Yupo is nice if you want to mat your paintings, if you're used to working on paper. Nice and flexible. You can stack up more of them. Here's a piece of Yupo that I primed this morning, and I did find out that it's still not quite cured. I was able to scratch into it there. However, here's one that I primed a couple of days ago, and it's just fine. It's completely dry. It's not moving, it's not scratching. So the Yupo, it takes just a little bit longer to dry, but once it's dry, you got it. So there are a couple of options for you. The Yupo is nice if you're used to working on paper. Gatorboard is nice for something a little firmer, also for larger sizes if you don't want to mat. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you at a workshop.